Lesson 9, Making a Zine, Week 1. Here's the lesson overview. This is what's due on Monday, June 1. So I break this down by the number of points each component is worth. If it's completed on time, that's 10 points. The worksheet, which is on slide 2, is worth 45 points, and the template on slide 3 is also worth 45 points. Here's the performance-based objective. Students will be able to create a zine using words and illustrations in order to showcase a defining moment from their 8th grade year. What is a zine? A zine is a self-published mini magazine. They come in many different sizes, styles, and cover all sorts of topics. They include text, images, and are all about showing personality and unique points of view. So on the next few slides, I'll show you a few examples. Zines have been around since the 1800s. They are a great way to share knowledge and information without spending a lot of money on production or distribution. They're usually made on a photocopier, and they can be as complex or as simple as you'd like. So they can be illustration-based mostly, or they can be full of text. Zines can be made out of almost any materials. Markers, pens, pencils, glue, glitter, collage materials, whatever you have at home. But why should I make a zine? This assignment is your last big assignment for art class this year. Give yourself a pat on the back for getting to this point. You can take the next 3 weeks to reflect on one accomplishment from your 8th grade year by making this zine. Here's the assignment. This is a 3-week project. Create a zine about anything that defined your life from September to the present. So in week 1, you're going to plan out your zine and collect your materials. In week 2, you're going to sketch out your zine, the entire thing, and then you're going to finish at least 2 to 3 pages of your zine magazine. And then in week 3, you're going to finish all 8 pages of your zine. So this is kind of what your zine is going to look like. This is a template. This is like an example, a very simplified example. You're going to have a front cover, a little introduction on the first page, a drawing with a caption on the second page. Pages 2, 3, 4, and 5 will also have drawings and captions. And then on the back cover, it's going to say made by your name and then the date. So your finished zine is going to be uniquely yours. It's going to be clearly based on your personal experience. It's going to have 5 pages of illustrations, good quality illustrations with captions, and it's going to show evidence of thoughtful and careful composition. So you're thinking about how the words and the images are placed on the page. And then lastly, it has been shaded, inked, and or colored to be the most effective it can be. So this week is all about figuring out what your topic is going to be and collecting your materials. First, you have to pick anything that defined your life from September to the present to talk about in your zine. This could include loves and favorites, personal successes like sports successes, academic success, friendships, etc. New knowledge. Did you learn anything that you're really proud of? Memorable moments, field trips, events, important conversations, or gratitudes. What are you grateful for that you had this year? So, step 1 for this project is to do this worksheet. This is slide 2. Finish the following statements. This year I became an expert on this. And then you type here. So this year I became, if I were to fill out this spreadsheet, I would say that this year I became an expert on Google Classroom. How about that? Hopefully you have something more exciting to type. Let's speed this up so you can see my answers, but you don't have to wait for me. So then, once you've completed all of these statements, choose one topic from the list above or otherwise to focus on in your zine. Write your final choice here. So I think I'm going to do my zine on becoming a plant owner. So that's all you have to do for the worksheet. Next, you're going to go to the zine template on slide 3. Start by making your plan by writing what you'll do on each page of your zine. In lesson 10, week 2, I'm going to show you how to turn one piece of paper into a zine. So it's going to be like a tiny little booklet like you see here. This is how your pages are going to have to be ordered so that when you fold the paper back up, it all turns out in the right order. In this template, write a sentence or so in each square just to show that you know what you're going to put on each page of your zine. So here you're going to type a general description of what each page is going to be about. So maybe I'll say, and I'm going to leave the front cover to the end because I don't think I know what I want my title to be quite yet, and that's okay. So on the introduction page, I'm going to say, here I will write about how I learned to take care of plants this year and how I have grown my collection of houseplants. Page 2. Miss B's plant finds friends. And then here I'm going to draw a picture of happy plants. Happy plants together. If you don't feel comfortable writing all of this out, if that's going to stop you from doing this assignment, here is the alternative option. You can take a piece of paper, divide it into 8 squares, sketch out each of the pages, and then insert a photo onto this slide. So it's one or the other. You can either type it out or you can quickly sketch it out and insert a photo there. Last, I'm not going to make you show me a photo of this, but you need to start thinking about what materials you will use at home. So collect your materials. What you're going to need for this project is pretty simple. It's one piece of white paper, plain paper. You won't need it until next week. A pair of scissors, one pencil, and everything else is up to you. You have the option to use markers, colored pencils, collage materials, watercolor, glitter glue, stickers, string, anything you want, literally anything. And last, if you are itching to get going, you can watch this video, you're going to have to watch it again next week, on how to create your tiny little booklet, and you can start sketching out your storyline in the booklet. And finally, if you are really interested in looking at zines and you want to explore some, here are some links for you. This is going to be the last slide in your Google Slides doc. Take a look at all of the very cool zines that kids have made.